You're listening to The Standard Podcast. Eye-opening for your ears.
สวัสดีค่ะโบสาวิตรีนะคะ This is We Need To Talk Podcast Talk Show ภาษาอังกฤษสำหรับคนไทยที่ใช้ภาษาอังกฤษค่ะ Hi you guys, welcome back to our show and thank you so much for listening ตามธรรมเนียมของ We Need To Talk โบจะชวนเกสของเราคุย3ประเด็นนะคะถ้าเกิดเป็นพี่น้อยเนี่ยเรื่องแรกที่โบอยากจะคุยเลยน่าจะเป็นเรื่องของครอบครัวค่ะแม่บ้านนี้เก่งกันทั้งบ้านเลยนะคะแล้วตอนที่แยกย้ายไปทำของใครของมันต่างคนก็ต่างประสบความสำเร็จตอนรวมตัวกันทำกิจการครอบครัวก็ประสบความสำเร็จอีกค่ะตกลงบ้านเนี่ยเขากินข้าวกับอะไรทำไมถึงเก่งกันอย่างนี้เดี๋ยวโบจะถามมาให้นะคะเรื่องที่2คุณผู้ฟังรู้ไหมคะว่าพี่น้อยเป็นคนชอบสะสมของเก่ามากๆเลยค่ะโบอยากจะรู้จังว่าเสน่ห์ของวินเทจหรือว่าแอนทิคทั้งหลายเนี่ยมันคืออะไรคนที่มี passion กับมันน่าจะมาตอบคำถามนี้ได้ดีที่สุดนะคะเดี๋ยวมาฟังกันค่ะและเรื่องสุดท้ายโบได้ยินมาว่าพี่น้อยและวงพลูกำลังจะคัมแบ็กแล้วการกลับมาคราวนี้จะมีอะไรมาฝากคุณผู้ชมบ้างรอฟังกันนะคะเอาละค่ะตอนนี้ได้เวลาเปลี่ยนโหมดเป็นภาษาอังกฤษกันแล้วพร้อมหรือยังคะ Ladies and gentlemen, it would be my pleasure to introduce our guest for this episode of We Need to Talk podcast. He's one of the most talented guys in the industry. Both his acting and singing careers have been very well received, and he's got lots of awards to prove it. Plus, he, along with his family, runs a hotel empire. And you guessed it, he's good at that too. Talk about being a triple threat. Let's meet him now. พี่น้อยกฤษดาสุโกศลครับสวัสดีค่ะพี่น้อย Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
I can't believe it. If I told my 13-year-old self like that I one day will get to interviewพี่น้อยlike I would probably not believe it.
Oh no.
Okay, so our first section of the show is called Been There, Done That.
Right.
So obviously the first thing we need to talk about is your super family.
Okay.
I've heard that singing is like in the genes of your family since your mom, คุณแม่กำมลา your sister, P. Marissa, and your brother, P. Suki, they're all singers.
Except Suki.
He's not?
He's a musician. Yeah, he has a terrible voice. He's tried, but nah.
But you guys have all like the musical sense
we
to your family, right?
Yeah, I mean we were raised playing instruments and singing here and there,
Did you get it from your mom?
Yeah, I suppose I did. I mean, because my father maybe I got my athleticism because, as I became known as a dancer, maybe that was through my dad, but my mom was more of the artistic, mentality, so maybe I got that from her,
When did you realize that you want to sing, you want to do it for a career?
I'm getting nervous too.
No, don't be nervous.
When did I know? Well, I mean, I sang a bit when I was young with the family, but then when I was young, I was into sports more. Like a lot of young kids, playing football, tennis, and baseball. And then eventually, I went to ISB and I was like athlete of the year, and I was like a jock. And then then I went to university in the States, and then I realized that I wasn't good enough. Suddenly you're in a, like we were talking just now, like the competition there is immense, and so I realized, okay, I guess I can't. I don't think I can make it to the university team. But then I started majoring in anthropology, and that's when I enjoyed learning about cultures and people. And in a way, it was similar to acting. Back then, I thought that, okay, I wanted an outlet to release my emotions. And before, as an athlete, you could do it on the field. You could be somebody else and scream, and people are watching you, and there's so much vibe.
Yeah.
And I kind of missed that feeling. So I thought, where else can I have an outlet where I can just release my emotions? And so I thought, well, I can do that in theater, And so that's when I minored in theater arts. In acting and so forth. And as I was telling you, then I then I was in New York for a couple of years at the Stella Adler Conservatoire of Acting, waiting on tables, going on to auditions and so forth. And to be honest, I didn't succeed or anything.
But you lived the actor's life.
Yeah, I did.
I
I know what it's like. Yeah, I know. I mean, I've been to, the whole Emma Stone audition. That in La La Land. I mean, I remember getting. You get in line, and they're casting for Joe, John, Mary, Jane, and Joe has brown hair. Might look Latino. Sometimes a Lucran looks Latino. I don't know.
I could see that.
And so they put you in that line. You go, and they give you a monologue. You memorize it, and once you get in the room, they look at you and they said, "Sorry." Not you.
Just took one look and said no.
Because they know that they don't want to waste their time.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste your time. So you have to understand it's business, it's work.
Yeah.
And so and then you wait and you study your monologue, you prepare it, and then just like that, they're like, "I'm sorry, sorry," and you're like, "Yeah, I get it," and then you leave the room. Yeah. And sometimes you act, and if they like the way you look, you act, and sometimes they might. They're like, "Oh, that's good. Come back again." You get a call back, and another call back. It's like 3 times. And then at the end, you still don't get it.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult process, and you have to be tough, and it's a great experience. But maybe I wasn't tough. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't tough enough. Anyway, but I was lucky. I was lucky because at that time, my brother Suki just opened Bakery Music, and he said, you can come back over here and you can sing. I remember, I'm like, yeah, I can sing a bit. Yeah, maybe we can do something over here. And so that's when I came back, and then.
That's how you got started.
That's how I got started. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. A lot of people thought that, I got started really quite easily. Your brother owns bakery. Yeah. But I was like, no, man. I've been through that whole rejection before.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people didn't know that you actually started from acting. Because in our minds, because in Thailand, we've seen you as the singer first, before the actor.
Right.
So we thought that you started with singing.
Yeah, maybe it was all very new to me, the whole singing and dancing thing. I mean, and like I said, I started very late in Thailand. I didn't begin singing, making music until I was 31, Yeah, and most people here start off at 17, 21.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I wish I started earlier.
Me too. I could totally relate to that because I started when I was in my 20s. I was about like 22, 23 when I started, and that's pretty old for girls to start. So I could totally relate to that.
Our country is like terrible in that aspect.
I know.
When I tell my friends you become a big star here at 15, 16,
yeah.
they're like, what? I'm like, that's in the States, that's like Disney Channel stuff, I'm like, yeah, no, and here, like, I'm an old man already in Thailand, Well, in the States, the Johnny Depp's connect till they're 60, so, oh, wow, that's our culture.
I know. That's what I said to my friends. That's really funny.
Yeah.
So besides the whole artistic genes that you inherited from your family, I know that you guys are pretty business savvy too. Can you tell us a little bit about your family business?
Yeah, sure. I mean, to be honest, we're not... I don't know if we're business savvy. We're kind of both artists and business people at the same time. I think if we were straight business people, we'd be maybe even more successful. But but my mom is quite an artist as well. We do things based on how much we love it, not on how much money we would make. What can I say? I think it's we're just very lucky to be able to do different things in life, to have options which a lot of artists don't have. And especially as you get older, a lot of my bakery musician friends, and as they get older, and it's harder to succeed here if you're older, unfortunately, as an artist. They don't have other options, but I'm very fortunate that I do have other passions and a family business that I can look forward to. Yeah.
How is it working with your family? Because I've heard that each of you bring different things to the table.
Right.
I've seen in an interview you said you're the dreamer of the family, right? And each person is good at different things. Like your sister is good at accounting.
Yes.
And your brother is like the head of the ship, and you're the dreamer. What do you bring to the table as the artist?
First of all, I'm really lucky I'm not the only kid. Yeah. Because I'm really bad. I'm really bad with numbers. I wasn't a smart kid at school or anything like that. I tried hard, but I wasn't one of those naturally gifted kids. And so I'm lucky, like you said, I have siblings who we all kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. One's good at accounting, one's great at marketing. Suki's a he's got a good business head, and I'm the to make myself sound cool. I think I give our properties soul. I'm I sort of the one who
bring life to it.
Almost like a director of a film. Well, I mean, in terms of like create the atmosphere and with ideas throughout the properties, or especially the new hotel that was my conception that I decided to build, the Siam. And so, so I try to give it that soul, that energy, that intangible, the things you can't see and feel, but you just got to feel it when you get there. That's what I try to do. Yeah.
And it totally worked because I've been there a while ago, and I could sense it's not your typical hotel. You don't feel like it's the normal structure, like the typical normal hotel. You walked in and you could feel the presence.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like you feel like you're sort of home.
Thank you.
And I think that's what makes it so unique.
Yeah, thank you.
All the tiring hours that you guys put into it, it's totally worth it.
But that's what that's what we're all after as artists. You sing a song, you want to give it that soul. I mean, you want it to be timeless. Or you make a movie, you want it to be like Blade Runner, or The Godfather. It's got that energy in it,
Yeah.
Or a hotel. But it's just so hard. You don't know until you finish this. You can never prepare it. You don't know what it's going to be like until the movie's done, until the song was recorded. And when you build a hotel, it costs millions to build a hotel. You only have one chance, unlike songs or like albums where if an album flops, I might have another chance, or a movie, if the movie you do flops, you might have another chance. But a hotel is just one shot, so you got to get it right. And even as an architect, I mean, I'm not an architect, but I can see how difficult it is. The design, how you're going to make it. And I really didn't do music and didn't act for a while, just focusing on the hotel.
And I heard your wife contributed a lot to your family business too, right?
Yeah.
You guys have been, you guys have been married for 20 years.
Yeah, a long time.
And you have 2 kids together. And how do you keep that marriage alive?
Like they say, it's marriage is not easy. It's marriage is work. It's adapting. It's develop. You realize that love develops into spaces you never imagined. I haven't heard the song. There's a song that Adele wrote that I heard about the concept, but I haven't heard the song. I think she just got married, and it's about how this is the end of love. A lot of people don't know what do you mean by that. You're getting married. When you're first in love and you want to hold hands constantly, you're on the phone for hours. You think of each other every day, and that it's a beautiful feeling, but eventually it's going to disappear. It's a beautiful feeling. It lasts years, but eventually love turns to something else. You respect your wife in a different way, and I'm not saying I don't want to hold her hand anymore, but I still do, but not like the early, like when you're first in love.
Giddy and like.
I think that's what Adele was saying, that she knows it's gonna change. I'm not gonna, and you're gonna have kids. Your love goes towards your kids more than your husband and wife sometimes, and it just changes. And it's don't get me wrong, I still think my wife is pretty hot. I think she's really pretty. When I look at her, I still think she's dang, she's pretty. Yeah, and I still get jealous when guys flirt with her, and I still get gangster on. That's so stupid.
I want to see you pull like the gangster
Oh, God,
face.
I do that all. I'm terrible.
But that's
I've
hot,
done that
though.
before,
Like, I mean, from a girl's perspective, like having your significant other like be all like,
just being protective of her.
Yeah.
We went out one night, and this was like a couple of years ago, and she was talking to this dude, and he wasn't flirting with. I don't know. He wasn't flirting with her, but she was talking. She had a drink, and he had a drink, and she bumped into him. And the drink spilled on her.
Yeah.
And then he got mad at her, and he said "F you" to her. This is from afar. This was at, I think, Bed Supper Club when it was still existing back then. And then she comes to me and she goes, "This guy, he just told me to F off." I'm like, "Who?" And she goes, "This guy." And I was like, "Who?" And I was looking at him, and I was just like, okay, I think I can take him on.
Because you gotta check out the competition first, right?
I was like going gangster. I was just thinking like, this is my country. You don't tell my wife this, So what do you do when someone tells your wife to F off?
What did you do?
If I was smart, I should have pictured myself in Ocean's 11, Ocean's. I should have tried to be like George Clooney or Brad Pitt and be calm.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, that's not cool. Apologize.
But
be cool. But I went berserk. I went straight to the guy, and I was like, I was like, you effing say sorry to her right now, or else I am gonna effing kill you. I was so stupid. I didn't know what to say. I was just so angry. And I guess when I get really angry, I can't control myself. And it's more part of my weakness, and it rarely comes out. But maybe at that time I was prepared. I was doing a film role at the time. I was really into being a gangster too. I was doing Antapan. Maybe the role got to me. I don't know.
Maybe.
But maybe I was doing too much method acting going on there. But it was really stupid. But I still. But it's one of those things. What do you do when someone hurts your wife?
Did he apologize?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was like, okay, sorry.
Good.
Yeah. But if he was a big guy, I don't know. I would have got my ass whipped. I'm lucky, yeah. But anyway, so marriage is, that's marriage too. It's up and down. But as long as the respect is there for your wife, for your husband, and you really have to communicate. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but it's hard to talk, and especially maybe people in Thailand are changing today. I know that because for us Thai people, sometimes we don't like to. พูดตรงๆก็เริ่มแปลกๆ you don't want it's hard. Actually even for Westerners it's hard when you do something wrong and you have to make up. It's hard to say sorry. It is, but luckily now you have emojis and things like that. that does help.
Yeah, when your wife is mad, just send the sad face emoji.
No, we all do it. I do it too sometimes actually. But I know that when once a year we'll get like a really big argument, like a bad one where that okay, it means that you have to change something about yourself now. Because as a relationship you can never change who you are, but you have to be willing to adapt a little bit, and just a little bit. And we've had like a big one where I know, okay, this is a big one, man. I got to do something about this, or fix myself, or I've got to talk to her and not send an emoji. I know the little ones that we get, little stupid things that annoy each other. That's normal, but the big ones happen every now and then. That's when it shows you how good you are. And like I said, saying I love you to someone that's a piece of cake, but proving it is really hard to show that you're a good man.
Aww. Okay, you need to play her those tapes because she's gonna be like, "Aww." Your two kids, Finn and Rosie, do they realize how famous their dad is?
Oh, shit. No, I always tell them, listen, only people who know daddy are 28 years old and above. If daddy goes to Siam Square, they don't know who I am anymore. Not during the time when bakery was at Siam Square. Anyway, but that was the good old days. But yeah, I mean, and I tell them, when daddy goes to America, no one knows who daddy is. Just in Thailand, and if you're 30 and above, they might know daddy. But I get a kick out of it when I'm not so famous to be a presenter of so many products like other dalas, but once in a while when a movie comes out and that's my chance to be on a big poster billboard like 10 feet high in my face, and my kids see that and they get really proud, so that feels that it's nice for your kids too.
You just had a movie like a few years ago too, right? Look Tung Signature. Did your kids get to see it?
A few years ago. Last year, man.
Was it last year?
Just kidding.
Sorry, I don't keep track.
No, Look Chung was like 2 years and Kun Pan was last year. Yeah.
Oh, did your kids get to see both of us?
No, they don't. Actually, a lot of my films are just too violent. A lot of them are violent. Yeah. Well, Look Tung Signature wasn't, but
yeah, that's why I was
in there.
I
was in that movie for only like only 10 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't too much. No, they haven't seen it. Yeah, and the ones that I do that people seem to, I think they'd rather see me kill people than kiss people.
Yeah. It's too violent for your kids.
But they're more in these intense emotional movies, and it's too much for them,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wait until they're 18.
Yeah. But no, they know. I try to tell them that showbiz is just, it's just that sometimes it's not real, It's just work. Daddy's going to work.
Yeah. So one day, if your kids grow up and they didn't meet your expectations, if you could wish for one thing for your kids to become or for them to do in the future, what would that one thing be? And what do you wish for them not to do?
I don't know. Let me think. To do... I guess there's all those cliche answers, but it is true, It's just like my mom too, you know. I mean, sure, my mom wanted me to work in the hotel business at the beginning of the family business, but she knew that you've got one life to live. You've got to do what you love. So she was supportive of that, you know. I wish my kids the same, to do what they love. Of course, you only have one life, one shot, you know. As long as you give it 100%, you know, I think. You know, this is part of my dad's teachings too, and people forget a lot. They always talk about my mom, and they forget that my dad's American, and he's just a middle-class guy, grew up in a farm, you know. And he's taught me all those those American values of doing the best, proving yourself, you know, and that's what I want my kids to do. I don't want them to. I realize they're so damn lucky, you know. I know how lucky we are to. You know, we have a chance to go to school abroad if we want to. You know, we get to travel. You're so lucky. And my dad knew that when he, you know, coming over to Thailand, seeing how we were, you know, how the fortunate luck that we had as growing up, and he wanted us to he didn't want things to come easy for us. He wanted listen, it's going to be tough, and I want you to prove yourself, whatever you do.
He doesn't want you to feel entitled.
Yeah, exactly.
Much.
Yeah, I mean, taught us a lot of discipline, and so I want my kids to learn that too. That it's not. I don't want you to think that everything's going to come easy. You better give it your best shot and fail if you must. You know. I hope they'll learn. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why you're so grounded and humble. I'm sure your kids will absorb that.
Yeah, I'm always too serious and sentimental. No, but you know, you want them to not just work. You want them to find the right person, the right love. It's not always easy. You know, it takes time sometimes. But I'm not worried about my daughter. My daughter's pretty tough.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's like 8, 7. She's tough, man.
She got it from you.
No.
From your gangster side of you.
My gangster. She's tough. I feel sorry for her boyfriend already, man. God.
Why? What are some of the tough things that she does?
She's just how do I put this? When I had kids, I really wanted a daughter. I was really hoping for a daughter because I thought that girls would, you know, like a daddy's little girl and hug daddy and, you know, sons and everything. And when my firstborn, when it wasn't a girl, it was a son. At first, I was like, shh. I was like, God damn it, I want a girl. And you know, you go to the you know, the what do you call it, the ultrasound. You look, and I was like, oh damn,
it's a boy.
I see it. The penis is there. The freaking computer doll. I'm like, God damn, it's a boy. But then when he was born, everything went out the window. I was in love with him, and he was so loving. He's so sensitive, and so, yeah, he's beautiful. And then finally, the second time, I had a girl. I was like, yeah, I got a girl. And then when she was born, and as she grew up, she's kind of cold. She's not very warm. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, my son gives me the love more than my daughter. I mean, and then I realized that you can't choose your, you know, you can't choose your parents, you can't choose your kids. And she shows love in different ways. She feels good to show love, you know. But then yesterday morning, she came I was sleeping and she came and she made a cookie heart and with a D on it. He goes, Daddy, this is for you, you know. And then she leaves the room.
That's
with no
cute.
hugs. Like she can't show love.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong. Like, come on, baby.
It's like Daddy's waiting with the big like you had your arms all open, like, come give Daddy a hug. And she's like, oh.
Yeah.
No,
and she's tough too. Anyways, so, but you know.
No, so she can take care of herself in the future.
Kind of like my mom, actually.
Yeah.
My mom's tough too. Yeah. You know, but that's the wonder of life. You never know. That's the fun part of life.
Yep. All right, now second, we need to talk about your vintage collectibles. So I've heard that you go antiquing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so unique. What kind of things do you collect?
Everything. It's well, your taste change. I mean, it is my number one passion. I mean, if I make money here and there, I spend it on my family, traveling, and really antiques. I don't like clothes. I don't like gadgets. I don't like technology, anything like that.
Yeah.
But with antiques, I'm like a lot of people. Your taste develops over time. When I was your age, I was into the whole retro thing, and 50s, 60s thing. And I would look at older people, and I was like, God, how do I like that Louis shit, and all that freaking velvet stuff and chandeliers. That's so OTT. But now I dig that stuff, That's yeah.
So do you collect stuff from all over the world, or is it strictly just Thai stuff?
No, all over the world, everything. But I do love it. But my first collecting was from walking to Jacak back in high school and into hill tribe stuff. And so I like tribal wear, tribal figurines. I love ethnic and tribal. That's why I majored in anthropology. I love tribal artwork. And I still and from there then I got into retro and minimalism, things and Art Deco and Art Nouveau. But I always go back to tribal ethnic material. So but it's more about combining all the pieces together. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like people having everyone come and getting along with each other. So I love getting both Thai and European, mixing it up and having it tell a story. Like at the Siam, I make sure that every space tells a story. There's like you walk into a room, there's a meaning behind that room if you dig hard enough, if you look hard enough. And that goes with songwriting or acting. If there's a story behind each the song, if there's something more than just the melody than the hook, and then it's great. Yeah, so designing is the same thing for me. Interior design, you're
creating a story in a room.
Yeah, but you do that with the objects that you place in the room and have them harmonize and narrate something.
That's beautiful.
That's what I try to do.
That's beautiful. Like it harmonized. I'm painting a picture in my head, along with your words. It's so pretty. How do you choose which piece to put in your hotel, and what type of which era or which genre of antiques do you put in your hotel?
Well,
different room has different themes, right?
Yeah, it has different themes, but every room tells a story about Thai culture. I mean, when I built it, the location isn't like downtown, and it's in the old part of Bangkok, so and it's called the Siam also. And it was important to me that the hotel would tell a story about Thai people, about Thai culture. That's what when foreigners and the guests that would come to our hotel, I realized they're not guests who would come to go shopping, at Paragon or something, and with our location and so forth. I want them to come and experience Thai culture. Once you're at the hotel, take off your shoes. You go by boat everywhere, and while you're in the hotel, you see how Thai people, the cycle, the evolution of Thai culture from 1900s to Pachuban to present. So every room in every area tells a story about things that are part of our culture. Like there's one room you might get, how we like, Nang Sao Thai. And so you get really, original photographs of Pasara. Or if you go to our screening room, our movie room where we show films, there I've collected all these old Thai theater tickets, from the 40s, from the 50s. And so they see how we used to, how back in the day, for example, back in those days, going to the movies was a big deal because there were no shopping. It was one place where it's air conditioned and people can gather and say hello. Back then, before shopping malls even existed, so it was a big deal. It was monumental to go to the movies. So you kind of explain that about Thai people, So I have all these, original stuff in there. And if you go to our gym, there's a Thai boxing ring to talk about Thai boxing. We have guests come and learn about Thai boxing, and there I have Lumpini bells, all these original memorabilia that I collect. If you go to the spa, our spa, we have we also have a tattoo sakyan room. We've had celebrities go down there, not celebrities but guests as well, and you go down and have a proper place where you have a proper tattoo, not like Superman tattoo, but where it's like a religious, where we take our guests to the temples before they have their tattoo done, and so like I said, there's a meaning behind every space, and there's a part of Thai culture in each room. But sometimes you can also have fun. I think I always enjoy the element of surprise. I mean, for our screening room, and everything is Thai in terms of I show theater tickets from The Sound of Music when it was shown in Thailand.
Really? Yeah. How did you find that? Where did you find that?
I'm just kayan. I wake up at Saturday morning. I just it's like the laws of average. The more you go, the more chances you'll get something, even though you might not. But if you keep going, you'll find, out of 10 times you might get one or two things, So I come across great stuff. A Sound of Music theater tickets, I came across Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. but in the screening room, I have all of that in the screening room. But then I also, I saw like, I saw like an ET mannequin. Like they make an ET.
Yeah.
So something like that. It has nothing to do with Thailand.
Yeah.
But I'll put it in the room because it feels, ET, you feel good when you see ET, and it's nostalgic. Everyone, maybe the kids today, if you're 20, I'm sorry.
I know. No,
that movie came out before you were born.
I love ET and I love the rides at Universal Studio, and I got really mad when they took it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got really mad. I used to love that ride when I was a kid.
Yeah, so it's nostalgic, and it's a good feeling you see that, and even for Falang, for Westerners to see that, they're like, oh, they feel good, a part of their culture is here at the Siam. So it's one of those things where you can make a connection.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can put things like that in the hotel, and not all over the place, but here and there to give a smile to guests and to all people, Yeah, so it's stuff like that, that you put an element of surprise in each space is always nice once in a while also. Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we need to talk about music. So you're making a comeback in music.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, trying to get back in the game and knowing what it's like to play 10 straight, 12, 15 straight songs. Because before that, I would be a guest singer here and there, and you sing a few songs. But to do the whole stretch is something new to me to get used to. So I've been playing gigs here and there, like the old days, and having and finding new musicians to play with me, and it's fun. It's fun to see your new band members who are a generation younger than you, and it's nice. You play and they're enjoying it, and after the gig, everyone they're drinking beers and. Yeah, and it's like the old days, and to see their enthusiasm is great. I think it's much better to get like if I had like 4 backups who are my age, then it would look the freaking band. I don't know who would come to see us. It's kind of like the other way around. Like it's kind of like like Big Ass. Like they have their new lead singer, and he's a young guy, and he looks really cool. And it works, It just it was a good move, and it works too. The guy's he's a good singer and he looks cool, But so for me, I wasn't gonna get 4 dudes who are my age backing me up. They're like a whole bunch. So I got like young. But they're really good. I'm half kidding, but it's half true also.
Kidding, but not kidding.
Yeah, but the important thing is if they have to be able to play and the chemistry has to be there. And it is good to have enthusiasm and a new vibe in the group.
Yeah.
And so I've enjoyed that. And
do you think there's a difference between, for the new generation of kids, do you see any changes in terms of being in a band these days versus back in the day? Being in a band? Yeah.
Well, when you play, not really. I mean, a musician will always be a musician. An artist will always be an artist. But you notice in terms of
maybe like their lifestyles or like the way
I don't know some of the singers they're
something?
talking about, the young singers. I didn't know who V Violet was until recently. That's because I'm just getting older, and they mentioned about all this. And then when I went on YouTube, and I was like, oh shit, she's got 70 million hits.
Yeah.
Dang, she's. God, I've been out of it, and so they talk about new musicians. That's fun. That like new talent out there that I didn't know existed. And now, because like I said, I don't do Facebook. I'm not on the net much. I don't have I just don't like that. I don't like the social media. Not that I don't like it. I just don't connect with it. But I know the goodness of it. I know the pros of it. I know that it's great that, people can become, well-known singers. It does help promote music and indie artists. I realize that, and that's great, But just in terms of, I don't know, the other side of the negatives of it, I don't like very much. Yeah. But that's the way the world is now, and I have to adapt to that. I realize that if I'm going to have a new album, I have to have Facebook if I want it to succeed. I have to. Yeah. I have to have no choice.
Because a lot of marketing is done online now.
Yes.
And the audience, it's so easy for them to reach your content via online.
Right.
So
right.
I guess it is a necessity.
It is
in life.
It is. It's just the way it is. I gotta get my head together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so. I am my own undoing sometimes, but I have to adapt.
What's your plan for this album?
I've been doing it working on it for 7 years, 8 years. I just got sidetracked because of the hotel and having kids and everything. But it'll be out this year, the first single. And like I said, it's fun. Like I said, music it's with movies you're not in control, as you know. I mean, unless you're going to be a director or a producer,
right.
You have to wait until someone asks you to be in a movie. You're not in control. And once you're in the movie, it's up to the director how they're going to edit it. Sometimes I read a script, it sounds good, but when I saw the movie afterwards, I'm like, damn, what happened? Or I'm like, why'd they use that take? When I acted, there were better takes than I did,
Yeah.
But you have to understand it's a teamwork effort, and it's more of the director's vision, not your vision. It's not the actor's vision; it's the director's vision.
Right.
But with your album, it's my vision, so it's my baby, my music, and okay, if I'm not in an inspirational movie, I'm gonna write inspirational songs, and doggone it, I'm gonna act in my own music video and do something cool, So anyway, a lot of the songs are about hope, and it's about redemption. I love the theme of redemption, about people who have made a mistake and want a second chance, need a second chance. I think it's for anybody from kids at school to people in the public eye to people who've been on drugs and go to jail and they come out, and because our problem is that in societyเราติดภาพเลย you see someone a certain way, you're going to look at that person that way, like forever, even if they want a second chance. Like I was talking about the other day, interview with Nong at the Standard, and I was like, I feel bad for that DJ who did who made the guy glop his. At first I thought it's terrible when he made a mistake, and I thought, well, I am a person who believes you made a mistake, you got to pay for your mistake, but you've got to prove yourself, you've got to redeem yourself. But how much does he have to do I don't know what he's done. I know he's done here. I don't know. I haven't followed the story, but I know that. I mean, that image that's stuck with him now, and it's hard for. And I feel bad that I hope he's redeeming himself. But how hard do you have to do to get a second chance for the public or for your friend, people to accept you? And that's a painful process. But if you made a mistake, you go through it. But at the same time, you have to hope that the public will accept you or your family. I'm sure his family and friends understand him. But I feel for people, but especially even worse, people who make a mistake and go to jail, who did some crime, anything. I feel bad, and they want to have another chance. So I write a lot of songs about that, people who are seeking second chances, because I find that so much inspiration. Inspiration, and you get that from someone who's been hurt or failed and then has come back to do that, who gets back up again.
Is there anything you want to say to your fans or our listeners who are waiting for this album?
Okay, yeah. I really don't think you'll be disappointed, really. I think it's I've done my best to write these songs and it's you write your music for your fans, you don't try to write it for another market. I always say you're lucky to have a fan base who still haven't forgotten you, and it's been 10 years since my last album. You write for them, and if a song crosses over, then you're lucky.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to have a hit song today, But I promise you, they're really good songs. I really, after 10 years, I wouldn't come out with crap stuff, I'd do my best, and it's, and I think at least one song's got to connect with you or touch you,
Yep.
So don't worry, it'll be good songs.
Yay. All right, so our next section of the show is called What's Your Take On? I'm going to give you 3 topics, and you get to choose one, and we'll briefly discuss your take on it. So our first topic is on the Chao Phraya River. The Chao Phraya River brink is getting a promenade and a bicycle lane.
Right.
Second topic is on social media, which you said you don't use, and we want to know your input on that. And third is on Airbnb, since your family runs a hotel empire. We want to hear your side on what you think about Airbnb. So, which topic is it going to be out of these 3?
One thing's dear to me. It's about the river, about the promenade, and it's
Are you for or against?
I'm against.
Okay.
I'm against. I mean, it does, I think it's it's 14,000 ล้านบาท it's the whole the promenade, the watchtower, the bridge, going to Sarirad Hospital. It's just do we need this promenade? Do we need this watchtower? It's immense amount. It's so much money, and you can use that money to be helping other people in other ways in upcountry. It's you should spend your money wisely. I think the government should. Yeah, we don't need this. I think. For that's one reason that I don't agree with it. And I don't know how many people from Sukhumvit is going to take a bicycle out there and ride their bicycles,
Right.
I don't, yeah. And that's the main reason I think that I'm against it. Although I realize, I know that it might, it's good for families and things like that, but I don't know how much it will get used. But like I said, I think there's more urgent problems that the government can use their money and our taxpayers' money, help others for. Second, I think that that they're taking away the soul of my city. They've already taken all the food stalls that they've chased out, and along Tachujak, they used to sell things on the street. They've taken that out. That's our soul, man. You're taking it away from us, from me. And especially because I love old Bangkok, I moved my life there. I built a hotel that talks about of Siam, and now suddenly there's a modern river promenade. I'm not even sure it's going to be a promenade. It's going to be, I don't think the promenade's a nice word. It's going to be, you're going to see big huge columns going into our river in there. And you're going to see a big concrete slab. You're not going to see trees along the river like you see. I might be wrong. I don't know. But from the history of what I've seen, it never looks like in the picture. It's like going to McDonald's. The hamburger doesn't look like what you see up there.
Right.
So, and like I said, so you're going to be seeing these concrete structures in the river. They've already taken out all the way. They're starting to take out all the house on stilts that people have been living forever. I know they're there. They don't have a permit, but they've been there forever.
Yeah.
It's all been taken. It's being taken out, and that promenade is going to be in front of temples. You don't see the way Thai people used to live. That's our soul, man. What do you you got to give respect to our history. There's other ways to improve our city life, I think.
So our last section of the show is called What If? And this is where you're going to get to draw a question out from a jar, Miss Universe style, and answer these questions. They're really fun questions. All right. So choose one.
All right.
And I'll read that for you. Oh wow, this is a serious one, I guess.
Oh man, okay. I'm a serious guy. I don't want to bore you. I want to get a bore show.
But it's hypothetical, so.
Okay, I gotta have some. That's why I married my wife too. She has such a great sense of humor.
Aww.
I loved her bubbliness. Yeah.
Aww.
Really.
See?
Still has that. Yeah.
You are a romantic. All right, so if somehow you know for certain that you will die of an incurable disease within 3 months, would you allow yourself to be cryogenically frozen within the week? If you knew it would give you a modest chance of being revived in 1,000 years and living a greatly extended life สมมุติว่ารู้ว่าจะตายแน่ๆใน3เดือนด้วยโรคที่ในวันนี้ไม่มีทางรักษาคุณจะยอมถูกแช่แข็งไว้เพื่อฟื้นขึ้นมาในเวลา 1,000 ปีให้หลังเพื่อมีชีวิตยืนยาวอีกครั้งในโลกอนาคตหรือไม่ข้อแม้คือถ้าเกิดแช่แข็งต้องทำภายใน7วันเท่านั้นดึง Would you?
This is easy for me because I always said I want to live 100 years ago, not 100 years in the future. So no, I wouldn't want. And to be honest, I mean, life is long, man. I mean, I would accept it if I died today. I'm 46 now, and I'd like to think I'd live to be 80, and I'm lucky because my grandparents are 95, my grandma's 100, my mom's 80, and she's still going strong. But so, and I can't believe that this is only halfway through life. I mean, when you think about it, it's been a while. I can't believe another 40 years to go. It's long, man. Life is long. It's not short like people say, but so I feel like it's quite long. However, the catch is that I'm starting to realize, and elderly people tell me that the second part of life it goes by very fast. The first part, like when we're young, it's so slow. The school term is so long.
That's true.
God. But now it's like boom, 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 boom. It's a 1 year already. We have to start preparing already. So the second part of life does go by extremely quick, and you don't get any healthier. Your body slowly just deteriorates. And it's all about growing, growing old gracefully, as they say, which is not easy to do. And so I'm happy to disintegrate
to not freeze yourself.
Except from so I'm fine with that.
Because I think waking up in the next 1,000 years, like you wake up and everything is probably new and fresh to you, and you like, where am I? Where are my loved ones? Where are my family? You gotta like live all alone pretty much. Like I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, actually to really do that and see the world 1,000 years. I mean, if you're
to see like it's like the Jetson.
If you're like Elon Musk, you'd be like, yeah, man.
See, then you could like live maybe like it's like Star Wars in the future.
Right.
Because your person like Han Solo, and then you you'll get to see like in the next 1,000 years like how far technology has gone. Yeah.
I mean, it is really amazing times. I can't believe these past 5 years has been crazy. It's been nuts the way things are moving. Everything, technology, I'd never thought it would move this fast. I mean, everything is changing now. The world is changing. I mean, people who are living today, I mean, you guys are, you guys are in for new challenges, and everything from government, how democracy is changing all over the world, from Bangkok to the U.S. And it's time, and the way social media is playing a part in how you win elections, how you live your life, and this is just the very beginning. I mean, it's gonna go by boom. It's gonna just. I am curious to see. I don't want to see it, but no, I'm curious to see how it's gonna turn out.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure if I want to live in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Sure.
It was such a pleasure. I get to see a different side of you, and it was so much fun just getting to know you. So thank you for being on our show.
Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah. Wow, I was nervous sometimes.
Oh, but you were so good.
Yeah, once I get into it, then I'm...
ถ้ารู้ว่าเพื่อนคนไหนรักภาษาอังกฤษชอบฟังภาษาอังกฤษและเรื่องราวชีวิตที่น่าสนใจของเซเลบหลากหลายโบฝากแชร์เอพิโซดนี้ให้เขาฟังด้วยนะคะ
Binge listen to all of our shows and episodes at thestandard.co/podcast. The Standard Podcast เปิดหูเปิดตาเปิดใจเปิดโลก